Do you have any question today? Okay. Today we take chapter 50, verse number 2. Chapter 50, verse number 2. Take verse number 1. Chapter 50, verse number 1. Qaf. This is the first letter of the word Quran, the initial of Quran. Q, that is Qaf. There is another name, God's name is there, Qadir, which means the most powerful. First letter is Q. Another initial of another name of God is Qahar, the one who controls you. During all situations, he is controller. So, by the controller and by the exalted, the most powerful, the Quran has come to us as a guidance to maintain our honor and dignity all our life in this world and after that in the hereafter. This is the word from God. Be dignified and honored, keeping up your moral conduct in conformity, rhyming with the nature of the attributes of your God. So, the most honorable God is addressing us. Let us walk through the Quran. That will be your life. Chapter 2, chapter 50, verse number 2. But it seems you are wondering. It is surprising to you when from among you a person is chosen to whom the guidance come to him from your Lord, because he has that thinking temperament. He has that thinking line in himself. He is more adapted to the thinking and clarification which he gains first-handedly. He doesn't believe in people who can guide him, but he thinks only God can guide him. And wherever there's a trouble, confusion, nothing gives them a clarification as a revelation from within, gives him a solace and quietness to the heart. So he is a person who is imbibed into the conscience, a sense of awareness of his inner being that is alive in him all the time, guiding him in each of his breaths towards the righteousness when both things are there before us, the right and the wrong. My inclination towards desire takes me to the wrong side. My intention to be on the right side takes me to the righteousness, that's godliness. Between ungodly and godliness, I choose the righteousness that satisfies my Lord. So, whoever among you has a thinking habit, his habitat in this world is entirely different, in which God makes him live a splendidly beautiful life, full of liveliness in the heart. Such are the people chosen by God to give his revelation to every single verse, that it gives a compatibility to the existing situation of every single person, a comforting nature to a disheartened heart, and a warning to the rebellious heart, which makes forget Allah's presence in him, his God's presence in him, by word, by command, by an admonition. It is always coming to the fore, not lurking somewhere behind, hiding itself behind the conscience, but it is coming to the fore, guiding to the future, and it's a foreboding for him, for that person, what is going to come in the future. It is here with him, here as a clear revelation that he is mostly calm and quiet, whatever be the situations around him. Things are going to be in the way God has prescribed for his bondsmen. It is not going to fall off the course. However hard hitting the situation may be for others, to them who are thinking, reflecting in themselves, they are to be addressed by God as O who have believed. He is chosen for the revelation that gives a message from the verse, from the paragraph we are reading, that is suiting to heart, suitable to my position, and agreeable line to take me to the future. That itself is sufficient. This person is given a message so that he reveals it to the people. And he is not new of the people who were sent to a particular community carrying the message of God, preserving their nature to the existing potential things that are happening before them. They are able to ward it off if it's evil. They are able to be with the conformity, the situation that is outside of me. It is in agreement with the nature inside of me. Or the situations that I'm receiving, they are able to change the nature before them, because God's presence in them is felt by the conscience, and consciousness and conscience come together, that the nature outside of me is changed forever. The situation itself is changing. However deplorable the situation is, it is pardoned. However fearsome the situation around me is calmed down. However sadness I may be, that may be hurting to my senses, definitely it is soothed. So what we expect of the future now is all these things according to my nature, which needs preservance of patience, presence of calmness, quietness, and resulting in the liveliness and serenity around me. That's what I prefer here. I believe in here. Then that's what I'm going to change by the help of God. So the God is so near to you, Kaf, Q. That means here is the guidance. And they are like you, the people, the same man, human being. But Allah chooses them to reveal guidance from what the paragraph they are reading in accordance to the prevailing life situations around them. It is not something that's intended for 1500 years ago, where this book is revealed. This is the only book from where you receive the revelation that is revealing the nature of everything that is presenting before you and what is being given to you by God to the inner soul, from the inner soul to your mind. Be mindful of whatever you are intuited with. Therein is the inspiration that reveals your revelation, clarifying the matters and materials and men and affairs, everything around you. So nothing is disturbing you excepting that it gives you a further input to your belief, and your belief is taking you to your lively future ahead of you without an impediment of supposition of doubt. I will not doubt my future despite my prevailing position is not so good to me. I will not say it's my badness, but I will say it is my testing time. Because the miserable situation I may be in, at the same time, God says to me not to worry. I am with you. This situation must change. This nature must change. Your position must be elevated. I am with you. All good things. Who can speak to me at a time when I am feeling I am deserted in a desolate situation, in a desolate position? My condition is so bad. At this moment of time, anybody would be thinking what wrong I had committed. At the same time, there is a feel inside the whole nature around me must change. The whole climate around me must change. This is what I feel now. Who can deliver this to me from within? That is God. The moment I am having some drastically elevated change for the better, when I am deplorably in a lowest position of miserable condition, that situation must change, is what my innocence says. None but God can give me that elevated situation, elevated position, elevated nature, and my whole atmosphere must change. The environment around me must listen to my godly words when I am in tune with it, and when I become in oneness with my godliness inside, the entire atmosphere will change with this environment and nature, suiting my nature, my attitude, imbibing the godliness when He gives me the word. The good word at the time of deepest depression, God gives you, no one else. We shall gain this momentum. We shall pick up our life in the right direction, not allowing ourselves to be bogged down by the satanic influences. He uses our naturally disheartened situation to his benefit to make us in much more disadvantageous position. We will never allow that to happen here. Always we raise up to the command of God, and God gives you only the rightful feel. You are more righteous, that you are the best person to receive godliness at times of the deepest depression that you are in because of your losses of your dear and near ones. Maybe your people, maybe your property, maybe your life-saving money, everything might have lost, and you are in such a situation that may even it makes me heartbroken, and at the verge of losing my life. There's a feel here, things will change. There's a feel here, things will change. Who is speaking that? God is never letting you down, even at this moment. He says, Everything will be easy, everything will be over soon, and I am going to gift you with for whatever patience and endurance you have. Put yourself in to whatever goodness you are putting yourself in. There is a reward from me. The best of the awards and rewards going to be gifted to you, granted to you as only a mercy and favor from Him. Will you abide by my order? This is what God asks you. Don't worry, it's my order. You're going to have a grand life. That's my order. I'm granting you. Are you satisfied? Are you a believer now? At the time of your severest disposition of heart, that is the time I want you to be patient. Seek endurance from me. Steadfastness is important. Preserve your stubbornness in my word that it is going to be true. It is truthful, going to happen to you. So, chapter 50, verse number 2, do not be wondering. It's no surprise. He is a human. I am choosing him to reveal the truth from it, to reveal the presenting nature from it, so that it is in conformity with the existing environment. So never be a disbeliever that God will not reveal the revelation to any human being. If He doesn't reveal the revelation to you presently, then we don't find a way. We will be in the darkness. If this Quran is for a people who lived 1,500 years ago, why should it be given to you now? There is a war-like situation now, that is a nuclear war. We know 1,500 years ago how the war took place, how they conducted the war, everything. But today we are in the nuclear era. Anytime there can be a world war. In no seconds, everything will be over. On a single day, the world will be perishing. So how to conduct a war now? How to fight a war now? If it is meant for 1,500 years ago, who will guide us now to prevent a war and to win over a war? That is the revelation from Allah, time and again. Every moment, the revelation will be given to you that will suit the existing proposition. Yesterday's life is different. Tomorrow's life is going to be ever different. And today's life is mysterious. Who will guide you through all these tribulations and tribulations? Only God. And He chooses a person to deliver the message of honor, to deliver the message of revelation. So never be surprised about it. And He is a man like you. So when you come across a man like that, follow him, because there's a truth coming out from his self. That's a revelation of God, because it is comforting to my presenting nature and the internal environment. It is so good. And it gives me a sense of belief and hope also. All these things only if there's a truth from the word of a person who speaks of the Quran and from the Quran by the admission, leave of the owner of the Quran, God. So we go to now verse 3 of the same chapter. I am deeply depressed now. My heart is aching. My breath is shortening. And I am so desperate. I know anytime my heart will stop. At this situation, I am almost dead. Who gives me sleep now at the in the dead of night, and who gives me comfort? Who makes my heart to settle down? And after the sleep, I am waking up all refreshed. When I wake up, it is not the same desperate moments. It's not the same despicable position. It is not the same saddened heart. It is not the same painful sorrow I am feeling, but a lot less. A lot less. I am a new creation now. Will you believe that you are not a man who had so much of sorrow and grief that would have consumed you totally? You might have been dead by now, who gave you peace and who gave you the sleep, and after that, who gave you the refreshment, cleaning your heart, cleansing it, purifying it from the deadly moments of the past just before you experienced, just before your sleep, just before you are put to death, and now you are created all again, all again, and a lot more is the burden is removed from the heart. I am made free from the load I was carrying. A few hours before I slept, I fell into sleep. So now we understand every moment I suffer. The next moment I am relieved. That means I am made to die and I am created again. I was put to death and I was created again. This is how I understand how God delivers me from my deepest grief to the liveliest moment within a few seconds. Sometimes I am grief struck, heartbroken. That is my condition then. Such is the situation that has already happened. I am at a loss now. Lost all my hopes. What is my position now? I will be dead. What my condition will be? Never be thriving at all. But after that grief, suddenly there's a change. I am free from the grief. Suddenly I am feeling more peaceful. But the tragedy that has happened has happened. The condition which affected you is existing even now. If that is the truth, it should remain forever. That grief shall not go of me. But suddenly I become free from that grief and I am feeling the peace. My life has changed. All the nature around me has changed. All the entire environment has changed. My climate looks beautiful. I am created as a newborn. Thus, a new life has come to me. Though the situation remaining the same, I have lost my dear kids, dear kin, my dear soul, just hours before. The condition hasn't changed at all. The prevailing nature is still gloomy. But suddenly I feel a peace returning to my heart. That means the nature remaining the same, here the nature is taking a turn, highway. There's no question of anything restricting me, restraining me, putting me down, tying me down to the gloom of my presenting situation, but it is far high by the most exalted. That is Ka, Q. First letter of the word, the attribute of godliness, Kahar, the one who controls and the one who has power over you. He has elevated you to a greater scale. So believe, don't believe in the prevailing external order, but believe in the God given command, get over it, I am with you. If you don't get over it, I will show you. Here is a deepest grief-struck heart, a most painful heart. Anytime the churning heart is constrained and the constriction is increasing, anytime to stop, I will die. Now, while this situation is existing still, I am changing your heart for the better. Now you believe peace is what you want. Don't worry about the existing condition of your environment. Don't worry about what is presenting before you. Don't worry about what is existing as a disaster before you. I can change the entire nature. You can poo-poo the nature. The situation can be sidelined. It can be shooed away. The moment you start believing the word of God, don't worry. Have peace. Will we abide by this? Chapter 50, verse number 1, Qaf, Qahar, the one who controls the first initial of God's name, Q. That one name is sufficient. He is delivering the Quran, Q, the first letter, the initial, Q. That is the revelation from the essence of the paragraph or stanza or verse, whatever you name it, of the book. That revelation, when it is coming to you, it soothes your heart and livens it. You become one with the godliness, the God's command, and you are elevated to your level high, whatever be the still prevailing order of a lower degree. To which level, if you descend, you will also be caught in that web and put you to greater strain. We are now a different one. If you are a believer, God can change the situation outside, or He can elevate your position above you, above the prevailing conditions. There is no disaster like nature when God can change mind here. It has to submit to you, surrender to you. Everything from heavens down to earth and all the climate around you must surrender to you when you listen to God's words, and once you're elevated above the ground level. There's no restriction between the heavens and the ground, putting you to strain. Ground is removed, you're elevated, that's the life you want. We'll adhere to from this moment. After listening to this, the nature should be turned in conformity to my order here. That order is put so steadily and beautifully by God, because God's command came whenever when I was distressed by the existing prevailing conditions. When this distress, God's command came to me, don't worry, I abided by it. And now the order is there, peace is here. According to my peace, the heavens and the earth must change its order in conformity to my wish here. That is the power of God. Father, Q. So the first letter, the initials of Qaf, that is Q, is Quran, the revelation. It is Q, the Qadir, the most powerful. It is Q, the Qahar, who controls the external nature if you are following the internal order given by God. Whatever be the disastrous, punishing, punitive propositions prevailing outside, never worry about it. Have peace. God comes closest to you more than your life vein. He is ruling you. Follow it and have a better life. And clear-cut example I gave you, when you are deeply saddened because of the prevailing nature around me, inside and outside of me, so turbulent. The nature here changes towards peace suddenly. With a great sigh of relief, I don't know where from it came, but the situation outside remains the same. So disastrous, terribly disastrous. It has let me down, but here God's command comes. Have peace. I have not heard it. In my confusion and in my distress, and in my depression, I'm not listening to God's word, but the peace returns by His command. How come the peace returned here? Just moments before, I was deeply disturbed. Now it is peaceful, but the prevailing condition is same, ever the same. Where the peace came? This is the order of God. This is the power of God. Aha. He controls your emotions and elevates your level of peace. And if you stick to the peace, stay steadfast by His command, stick to the peace I have given you, the nature prevailing outside of you must expand. It cannot restrict you any further. This is the life we are going to begin from this moment onwards. So easy. God can do what He wishes from here. His command goes to the heavens and the earth. I wish here my command goes to the earth and heavens and whatever in between. So there's no restrictions in my life. There's only beautiful, blossoming, all the time evolving, highly prestigious, honorable life before me. Do you have a question here? Any clarification here? Our life is not changing. Whatever is prevailing outside of me, don't care. Falsehood. What is here is the truth. If the condition is so beautiful, but here is depressed, you are dead. However lively be the environment around you. If you are saddened here, you'll be dead. So your life starts from here. Your existing natural surrounding should comply with your wish here. So don't worry about the existing condition, the existing world, the existing entire atmosphere from heaven to earth, and no environment, no atmosphere, no condition, no nature can beat your heart if you abide by the peace God given, greatest power, a benevolence, a message from Him. Have peace in my name. Never worry about your external features. Any question now? Is there any doubt anywhere? Absolute silence. Good. God is sufficient. My prayers are there. Whether you heard it fully, whether you understand it halfway through, God will make it perfect. There's nothing to worry at all. Your life changes today, not based on the prevailing situation, but based on the internal strength. That is peace.
Salam, Doctor.
Salam.
Sometimes, Doctor, in spite of having all the time sense of godliness, we get attracted to the allurement of beauty and comfort, and we develop greed for it. And because of that,
Yeah, because of that?
Greed comes in. And then because of greed, the other thing follows.
Yeah, okay. So the greed, when it overwhelms you, overrides you, at the same time, God is speaking to you, is not good, right?
Yes.
That's sufficient. We have overcome it already. The moment we should not be deaf to the call of God, to the word of God, even if I am attracted towards my lewdness, even if I am under my greed and guilt and wrongdoings, even I to my heart, don't I listen to the word of Allah, and I feel my God must preserve me from getting lost. God must guide me. My God must forgive me. He must show me His mercy upon me. All those things are there, right? At the same time,
Yes, of course.
when I am listening to that power, even if I am involving in my desirous habit, morally I am losing myself and I have lost myself. Let it be, but I am listening to God. That's a great gift. That means God is speaking to me. He has forgiven. He has not forsaken me. He is feeding me now. Doesn't matter. Don't do this. I am listening. What more I want? How can whatever I have been involving in can have an impact on me? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yes. I am scolding you. I am abusing you with great anger. At the same time, I know I should not be doing this because God speaks to me. You shouldn't be doing this, right? So I am saying to God, yes, I shouldn't be doing this. But who else is inducing me? Shaitan. I will remove him. Don't worry. It is not the work of you or the work of Shaitan. Your sin will be taken by the Shaitan because you are listening to me. That's not your act. That's Shaitan's act, not Sahibi's act. But I fail to remember Allah at this point of time. I indulged and lost myself. Then you can seek forgiveness because Allah wants you to seek forgiveness and you seek forgiveness. Then also I am clear of my sins.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that clear?
Yeah. It's heartening and
Unless God speaks to me, I cannot hear Him. Unless I hear Him, I will not have the guilt. The very point you have that guilt complex, you're okay, no problem. All the sins are clear off. And it's a new birth for you. So follow your messages. Plentiful messages are there in every kind of, in every language, in every small to big sections and communities. There are good people who are reflecting, but they don't belong to any particular group. They belong to humans. They will not identify themselves Muslim, Christian, or Hindu, but a human being with full of humanity in them. That is godliness. Any other question?
Doctor, hello.
Hello?
Doctor, that breathe you told, no? Pirmuch, that
Yes.
very good breathe. So that is indication
Yes.
that one is at peace. It is an indication that one person is at
No,
peace.
that's not necessarily. Even without that, the peace can return. Even without that, the peace can return. Not necessarily you should have a deep breathing. No need. Sometimes a revelation comes to me during the time of peace. I am revealed of his message also. That times breathing comes. But other times, mere peace need not be associated with the deep breathing always. The deep breathing is a sense of relief because you are revealed a revelation by Allah while you are giving, while you are given the peace, receiving peace. Okay? Do you understand?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah.
So in the nature, except human beings, all the things like trees, birds, mountains, all they be thankful to Allah, right?
All they abide by Allah's command, as I am receiving Allah's command and I am prostrating to Allah's command, everything falls prostrated to my wish. So never worry about all these things, whatever is going on around you. They cannot touch you as long as you are with God.
So when our internal nature is aligned with God, the universe will obey. That is the order.
That whole heavens and the earth, the whole world will be falling prostrated to you.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah, doctor. It's really, Alhamdulillah. Thank you to Allah.
Alhamdulillah. Salam to Allah.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you, doctor.
Salam, doctor.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. There we end. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Salam, doctor.
Thank you, 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 doctor.